What's up everybody, this is Hillbillies here, and welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play series. This is episode 56, and as you can see, I have been very busy. The last couple hours, I've been kind of just going nuts trying to do this thing, which I'll explain what it is. As well as the last couple of days, I've also been working on the nether and trying to get it cleared out, like mine out huge 128 by 128 by 128 area. Still not finished, but I'm working on it, and I had to take a break from it because I've been mining like thousands of blocks, and I was going crazy, so I figured I should do something redstone-y instead, and work on that and give myself a little bit of a break. So I came over here because like I was telling everybody, I wanted to make some sort of intersection or a way that you can choose if you want to go to the observation area, or you can choose to go down to the actual kill chamber, whatnot, for the guardian farm. But there became the issue, like my original idea, I was pretty stupid about it, and I decided, I'm going to use switches. So I actually already pre-dug a tunnel that's like, from here all the way to the other end. There's also a tunnel dug all the way over there, and it's already filled with redstone, which is this one. So I have to take all this redstone out and fill up the tunnels. But that was the original idea, was to use switches from a distance and everything. And yeah, that was just too much, and I couldn't get it to work right, because the problem was that, let's say you want to go to the observation, so you go that way, but then on the way back, the track is switched to the opposite way. If you were like, I want to go back to the base, but it's pointed, to the farm, so I have to go to the farm now. So that was kind of an issue. I didn't have a way of canceling it out after, and I didn't want to set like a minute-long timer or whatever, just in case, and things like that. So I kept looking up different designs and different intersections that people made, and then eventually I came across something that kind of had this design to it, like it dropped down and went to the floor, and I was like, well, I could probably make something like that. And then I started thinking, I need to make sure that all of these turn on at the same time, so that, if I'm here, I get accelerated down and then back up, but if this is turned off, I won't go anywhere. So these need to be activated at the same time, and all different sorts of things, like, this has got to change depending on which area I'm going to. So I set it up simple that, for example, like the ones on the right, I'll put signs, of course, later too, for the people that don't know. You press the button on the right, and this one and the one over there activate, as you can see, because if you didn't know this track, you can actually ride down the track and straight up when it's facing this direction, so I just left it like that. But when you want to go to the Guardian farm, you press the button, and it activates these two, as well as you see it changes that track in the center, here you go again, so that it faces this way, and then it goes back to the original way it's supposed to, and that's the default direction that it always faces. The same thing for this side. If I want to go that way, it changes the track over and activates these two. If I press these two, it only activates the power rail, since that's already facing the same direction. And of course, once those ones were set up, this was just basically just place a button there, and that's it, because it just connects to the rest of the redstone underneath. And the really complicated way that I did that probably could have been done, differently if I'd known redstone better. It's a little insane in here. Like, I didn't have anything set up symmetrical. I just kind of started digging, and I was like, well, I'll start with these buttons. And then I was like, well, I'll work from this button. And this one doesn't work now. So I just kept moving redstone and taking things out until it eventually all worked. But the basic idea is that, like, all of the buttons are underneath, kind of like the wood here. And basically that is like, I know, like I said, this button needs to activate that rail and that one. So I hooked up a line of redstone from, here, so that these two get activated at the same time. And then it also needs to sometimes turn the track. So underneath at the very bottom, you see that's the main track control. And then whenever there's a button that needs to change the track, there's like a repeater down on that side for this button here. And there's a repeater on the other side for the other direction. And to stop tracks from the redstone basically from interrupting each other, I just use the repeaters basically as like a way to cancel out stuff. Like, obviously, for example, if this repeater isn't here, when I press this button above me here, it'll actually send the redstone down over this way and back over here, which is no good, because it would send it and it would activate the wrong track. It might turn the track the other way, so I just use the repeaters to basically cancel out the signal. But the basic idea is just, I worked on placing everything, like I got everything set up, and I was like, okay, these are where the buttons have to go. And then I was like, this is where the track has to go. So I set that up, and then I did the long process of sorting out, okay, these buttons have to be connected, these buttons have to be connected, this has to be connected to there, and so on and so forth. And until, you know, hours and hours later, I finally actually came up with something that works, and it does, and I'm very happy with it now. So I can actually use this now. I'm going to go quick to each end of the tunnel, and I'm going to add that quick like automatic thing to kick you out of your minecart. I would love to break the minecart as well, but that's not going to be a thing yet unless I could set up some sort of maybe like pistons that push the minecart and break them, or something possibly like an arrow shooting out. But for now, I don't mind just like getting kicked out and then breaking it. It just takes like one button press and that's it, and it's done. So I'm not too worried. This was the main thing. I'm really, really happy that this is done. And now that this is also done, I can go and work on other stuff, which is the sad job of clearing out the nether again. So I'm going to go back to that and work on that. And I know this isn't exactly the nicest looking thing, but it works. And it makes things a lot easier. And of course, oh, by the way, too, I added this one up here on each of them, as you can see, as an extra one, just because when you're going at the speed that you are on the minecarts, like I have one of these every 6 blocks or whatever. There's the accelerator rail or whatever they are. And so I put one of them here because otherwise it would actually push you all the way down and back up to the other side. So I use these as like an extra slowdown to just stop me just in case. But it works. It works in all directions now, and it's been, like I said, hours and hours and hours. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. I've been working on this since this morning, so it's been like 5 or 6 hours. Obviously I need to learn more about redstone, but it works for me, and I'm very happy. So once again, a quick example. I have been stopped here. I would like to go that way. Oh, I wasn't going fast enough, I guess. Never mind. Wow, what a poor example to show you guys. Normally you are going like full speed, though, which is the thing. So let me go back a little bit and do it properly. So I'm going here, going quite a quick speed. You can see I've stopped myself on the angle. That one, luckily, I said slow me down. And you can see the track goes that way, but I want to go back to the main base. So I click the button, and off we go. The track changed itself, and we are now on the way back to the base. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to add a couple last little things, guys. You know, like I said, the dispenser, whatnot, and here, the hoppers and all the things like that, so that I can have the same setup that I have here, where you just press the button and smack, and it gets pulled away normally into like this after. So I'm going to set those up, and then I'm going to go into the nether and show you guys the progress that I've made, and hopefully work in the kill chamber, and hopefully it'll be actually enough around the area that I can show you the blaze spawning and everything, because it's been a very, very long process. Like I said, thousands of blocks to be removed. So I'll be back when I get over there and get some of this stuff cleaned up. Alright, everybody, I'm here hiding in the nether now. I'm just here because I want to show you the work that I've done. As you can see, it's been a lot. You know, all the way over to there, where that was actually that area up there, all the way up to there was that platform I had built, like that two leveled platform that I had all the the mobs and stuff spawning on. That was over there. This is actually the staircase right over there, where that kind of the group of the torches are. That's where the stairs is to go underground. As you can see, that's the underground that I had mined out for the quartz. And of course, this entire mountain was all the way up to there, and that's been mined down. It's only a couple layers thick now. I'm pretty much almost gotten rid of all that. There's not too much that way. Over there wasn't too bad because it was mostly just like, you know, I just got rid of the roof of the fortress over there, and I left that other area, but I put like tons of torches. I had this entire inventory filled with torches, and I came in here, just spammed them, and tried not to die. But you can see there's still like a couple of blaze that are spawning over there, so obviously it's not perfect, but it does work. Like if I go down in here, earlier it seemed to work really well for a couple of minutes, and then it kind of slowed down again. So I guess it's just because the longer I'm in here, the more spawn in a different area. But you can see there are some down here, and like I was watching, I'm gonna have to get rid of those corner blocks that I'd put there, and probably I'll put a piston there as well, most likely. I don't know if it'll interfere with the other ones, though. I'm going to have to find that out, you know, with a little bit of observation. But they do get pushed down here. I have watched them do it, like if I can maybe catch them there. I figured I should just show you guys quick, but what I'd really like to do, because to be honest with you guys, I am not in the mood to build a whole platform underneath this thing and start working on a kill chamber and all that. Like, I still have to get rid of all the other mobs, and, you know, spawning is still kind of slow. Like, see, that's what I mean. The guy gets stuck on that corner block there, but when they don't, oop, he's going to shoot at me. When they don't, then they do actually get pushed properly. It's kind of hard right now because they do see me. I don't know if this actually gets rid of it completely, but, they have been able to notice me. So I just kind of I've just been hiding back here and kind of watching and observing what happens. And, you know, like I said, they do spawn in certain areas still, but that's going to be all gone eventually, not today. I've gone through so many pickaxes now, and I've gotten so much, like, netherrack and everything from this, and, like, these were huge. The fortress is massive, and it's pretty much all gone now, which is cool, because then I can just build my own spawning platform for, you know, the wither or the wither skeletons and stuff like that. And obviously, you know, gas have been a very, very big issue, and they've been really, really annoying to me this whole process. It's been very long, but that's why I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to go. I don't know if any of you remember that I said I wanted to build like a little like a woodcutter's hut, I guess, kind of off of where I built that other little bridge. So I'm going to go over to that area. I'm going to grab a couple supplies, probably build a little gravel pathway or dirt pathway into the woods, and then I'm going to show you where I want to build, and we'll start building, and then I'll put some, like, you know, different things around it, make it look like a log cabin, like, you know, a pile of logs on the ground, and I'll probably have like a table out front and little things like that. But I'll get over there and start doing that. Just wanted to do one quick thing, guys. Wanted to show you in the base that I made like some quick changes. Obviously, you know, this I'm going to kind of rip out and redesign. That's why this is kind of all like this, but I want to figure out what I want to do first. I think it's going to be that, like, this part of the wall is going to be, I'm going to set it in farther, and as well as there's going to be like 2 blocks of space in between, and I might bring it out as far as I can. The problem, of course, is that, you know, there's the wall that ends there, so I might have to, like, move this piece out a little bit, but I don't know. I don't want to mess with anything too much, so I'm kind of working on that. That's one small thing, but there's another thing is that eventually, like I'd always wanted to do, is a slime farm, and there's actually, I have a spot that spawns like a stupid amount of slimes, and it's right here, like it's right below the base here, and it's super fast. There's always lots of them, so I want to at some point turn that into a, you know, a thing. So I want to build, you know, like a little tunnel or something down there. I don't want to do it here, of course. There's no room there right now, so I might have to start in a new expansion somewhere. But I'm not sure where, because this is literally, like, the other side of this wall is the furnaces. This is the bedroom in there. So I was thinking, one idea was it would give me a reason to come out here, because I never really do, and I want to, you know, come out here, and I got to put some of the new flowers in here too, because there's a whole bunch of new flowers, and I think it would look a lot nicer. But basically right here, I think that if I could, you know, have a path that went off this way, and then you could, like, walk down this tunnel and over, because it's not that far down, so it actually might be almost this level. So if I went in and I made a nice little path to it, I think that would be kind of cool. And slime farms are generally pretty easy. You can just make, like, I think it's 3x3 platforms with, you know, water in between that's too wide or whatever, and they swim down that. But I'm gonna have to check all that, because, you know, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything right, and, you know, in case things have changed or whatnot. Another thing to note, of course, well, obviously there's all the lights that have been changed. You know, that's kind of different. There's this entryway that I changed. I think it looks a little nicer. It's a little more plain, but it's better than what was there before. The wool, you notice there's no wool there either, which now I use the andesite on both sides of the button here just to change the floor up a little bit. Like I said, I changed this path as well and added the lights in. I think that's nicer than the wool. I added these 2 paths to the door, of course. That just, you know, it breaks up the floor a bit and makes it a little different, so I'm probably going to do something like that for here as well once I've actually sorted this wall out. This was redesigned just a little bit so that I would be able to change this up here, because if you remember, this was actually just that. It was just like spruce wood like this, just the whole way, like just that type of wood. So I figured I need something a little nicer. So I used the new lights and I used leaves because it's a lot brighter and it just looks cleaner. I also took the entryway that was over a bit and I brought it over to this direction a little bit, like so it would match that these sides were also you know, too wide. And here the archway, of course, had to get pushed out a little bit, so I moved this whole front out and I added this wall here. I added the benches in here. This, I guess I should probably go. Yeah, I should probably get rid of that. And there we go, much better. Okay, so I added these benches here, and I added all these ones out here. You know, I moved everything basically because when I moved the wall out, there wasn't very much space. So now this is at least clear and open, and you can look down again. And there's, of course, a creeper down there, which, you know, I'm gonna have to add more lights down there. And I'm not sure really what. If maybe I get a little tree down there or something, put a light in the middle of the tree. I'll probably put a light in that tree, and like I said, I want to work on that pathway, of course, that would go out into the inside there of the mountain. I think that'd be pretty cool, and it'd be easier to get to the slime farm that way. But for now, like I said, I want to go work on that. What was I calling it? I guess the logging place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, because I think that's pretty much all the stuff that I changed. Like, only up here really is the real difference, so that's pretty much it. Other than over here, there's like the, you know, I like I said, I made the rail system so that I can exit it and stuff. And I'm thinking I might add a dispenser that shoots those fireballs, and I'm gonna see like what the gas shoot and see if it actually breaks the minecart and, you know, just drops it in. That would be really cool, and it would be much easier. But for now, off to the logging area. Alright guys, so we're over here at the bridge now, and just on the other side is where I started the path. You can see I just added some coarse dirt, some gravel kind of randomly placed around. I added some flowers just kind of here and there, and I used oak leaves as, you know, little hedges and things like that. So, you know, it's just kind of like there's a bush there randomly, and I think it adds to the area. It makes it a little bit brighter, makes it seem like more like a path. And I found this clearing as well. This is where I'm going to be building the actual cabin itself, because there's going to be like an area over there, if you remember, that I want to build like a castle wall and a castle behind it, because the mountain looks perfect for that kind of thing. So I can just get rid of this tree after and continue the path that way. So I figure if I come off like this maybe, and I can start the cabin like this, and I figure what I want to do is I want to have like just a regular entryway. I want to make sure I do this far enough in as well, because like this is going to be over here. So I think that should be, well, maybe we'll move it over one more. Okay, like that. So the entryway is going to be like, you're going to go into a door, and then there'll be like a small entryway, and then it'll open up into a larger room, I think. And I'm going to use the dark oak as like pillars and everything. So I think maybe, I don't know if it's too wide to have like dark oak, spruce, a doorway, spruce, and like if that's too wide for an entryway, I don't know. Something like this might be okay. Let me get rid of a little bit of this stuff, because I don't need it right on me. Oh, I didn't grab some of my other stuff that I have in here, did I? Spruce wood, here we go. Of course, none of it's made. Okay, so here's a bunch of oak wood, birch wood, and spruce wood. Perfect. Okay, so like I said, I want spruce wood, something like this. I think it might, I'll probably just walk into it. It'll be a ground level type thing, and it's just a log cabin, so it's nothing. Well, not a log cabin, I should say. Like somebody who does logging, it'll be like their cabin. I guess a log cabin, technically, I guess, but you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. So 1, 2. I think there's going to be the entryways. Probably 3 long is all right. I want to remember too to try and keep things like at an odd number, just so that they don't. So that I can make it nicer, and like when you have even numbers, it's harder to make things match up like correctly, I find, and then you have doorways that are like 2 blocks wide instead of 1 and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's a lot easier to build with odd numbers. Okay, so something in the, you know, the generic thing like this, you know, maybe I'll bring it up another row here, of course, and to connect it off there, I'll have the door in here afterwards. Something like this is a basic entry. I'll have like a window maybe on both sides, something like this. I'll go get like glass panes after to do that. And maybe, oh, I wonder. Ooh, you know what would be nicer? It normally is nicer. Let's see this time. Oh, I didn't want to put that away. And I'm putting away all my other stuff. Okay, here we go. So instead of that, you put a staircase, because the staircase still looks like this from behind. I don't know how it would react with the glass panes, though. I've never actually really tried it like that, so I'm not sure. But it doesn't ever hurt to find out. So I'm going to build it like this then, and I'll do that on both sides. This, so it looks, you know, like I said, like a nice little window, and I'm trying to keep the colors kind of the same. You know, so it matches a little better. I am trying to improve my building as time goes on. Like I'm no amazing Minecraft builder, but I'm practicing slowly and trying different shapes and things, and I learn a lot more as I, you know, watch more people as they build and the way they build and stuff. People, you know, you got to use more. Everybody always says structure and like dimensions and stuff. So I'm gonna try and make things less flat and, you know, give things edges and whatnot. So that's why, like, normally I would have just had like a square building and that's it. But I don't think that's enough anymore. I need to do something a little different. So now, like, I want to keep the building going out like this. Obviously, of course, I'm going to keep everything symmetrical too, though. And I don't want to get too insanely big. Like, that's big enough for an entryway just for a, you know, for some guy who's just out there logging in the woods. Obviously, I'll have to put around a whole bunch of chests and like a big table or something for him to stay on. And I do have to get rid of this. So you do some terraforming and clean up and whatnot, but it's not too bad. I probably have to get rid of these two dark oak trees here as well, but let me see. I'll worry about that after. Okay, coming out here. Oh, I should have moved those. Maybe I can incorporate them because I don't know how big this needs to be. Obviously, it's got to be, let's say twice that, 5, maybe 5. I don't know, that seems like a lot. 1, 2, 3, let's try 6 blocks. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, I have to get rid of some of these trees. Let me clean up this area a bit, move some of my stuff over, and I'll, like, you know, I'll try and build a wall or a basic shape to it, or at least start getting things cleaned up, and then we can continue working on the walls. Well, guys, I guess I actually came up with a pretty good size, I think. I started with, you know, these walls that were 6 wide as well, but it was just too big at that point. I was like, ooh, it's way too big for just one guy living alone in the woods, you know, cutting up trees and stuff. So I had to shrink it down a little bit, so it's now, you know, the same size as these walls here, and I thought that would look kind of weird when it was finished, but it actually doesn't look too bad, especially when you come down from the trail here. Like, the wall is a lot longer there, but from a distance it you know, makes it look smaller. So when you come like this, you start to, like, I noticed the depth, I guess, changes, and then, like, you come around the tree, and then you got this little small front, and it kind of works well together, I think. And I think the dark wood here with the spruce is a pretty good combination. And as well, I'm going to have to sleep the night through, but I'm going to build this wall the same over here. And this back wall, I'm thinking I'll probably just line up, you know, where I have these ones here. And I won't do anything, like, won't do any little extensions or anything like that. It'll just be a, you know, like a regular doorway, something like just like this, I think, most likely. And I'll have another window at the back. Like, I like to have, you know, the nice, at least a lot of light coming in. I find it would be pretty cool. He could look out the back. Oh, if I can ever place these things. Out back, I'm going to have, like, maybe piles of logs. I'd like to put leaves all around the house as well. That might be something I think that'd be kind of interesting to do, and, you know, it might add some color to it as well. I'll probably put some more, you know, different flowers out and about, like I had along the path, and see if I can mix and match things. And there's like a little pond there too that maybe I can put some lily pads on. And maybe just mix in some different things around it. Maybe put a little spot to sit as if somebody could fish or whatnot. There's a lot of little different things that I think I could do in this area. So I'm going to try and work on that. Like, obviously I've been, you know, kind of just copying the same basic pattern. But it seems to be okay. Like, for a basic log cabin, I didn't want to go too insane with it. You know, I don't mind having, like, a big fancy thing for maybe a bigger building or something, but something simple like this, I think having it simple will be better in the end for it. But, you know, it's also fun. I need a little bit of a break from the nether. It was just so much trying to build and, like, mine and mine constantly, cleaning up the whole thing. I put thousands of torches down, and I went through 10 or 15 diamond pickaxes that were all, you know, efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3, and it was just like constantly going through them because, you know, it just required so much. There was just so many blocks to get rid of, and it's going to be worth it in the end, of course. You know, I'll have a really cool way to get lots of glowstone and everything, and it'll be nice having a blaze farm. I also got some more ender pearls, so I would like to find out if I can just get out of the nether, and if I can, like, or on top of the nether, sorry, and if I can, then I'd really like to try and maybe build a farm up there as well, or have my blaze farm on the bottom and maybe like a gold farm on top or something. I don't know, I'll have to figure something out. Now, these stairs here aren't going to be permanent, obviously, but I just want to see, like, I need to do something with this roof, and I'm wondering if I can shape this nice, but I want to have it kind of like, you know, the peak is, how do I say this? Like, the peak is kind of, it goes more like this. What am I hitting? Oh, there's trees all around still. But yeah, I want to have like the peak going maybe like just like this, and then it'll like connect off to the side, and it'll go like back to front maybe, on the part of the house and maybe flat on top. I'm not sure. So this entrance, I'll have to figure out something. I'll connect it and see how big it is and whatnot. So I'm going to work on that. I'll go work on the roof, and maybe then I'll just add a quick floor too, and then we can work together on putting some details out and around, and you guys can, let me know what you think of it, if there's little things I should change or not. And I'm going to go get glass too, because I think that'll, make it look a little nicer, because it's just kind of like empty spaces right now. So I think it'd be a lot better with that. So I'm going to keep working away at this and hopefully get a whole bunch more stuff done. Alright everybody, so I think I got the basic shape down. This front piece I'm still not 100% happy with, but I'll keep working at it, I think, and maybe I'll get something, or you guys can let me know what you think. But I added an overhang on both of the other sides, and I think it looks good for the side, but I don't think it looks very good for here because it's too small of an area, so that's why I don't have it here. As you can see, the roof just kind of connects into each other like that, and then, like I said, it comes over and has the overhang here. The back just kind of looks pretty plain, just like this. But I think the other thing that's going to help with all of this is when I actually start to add like the little details of maybe, some more flowers, possibly some of the bushes and everything. So let's try that quick. I just want to see what it'll end up looking like. If I it's so plain right now, but what if I just toss some leaves out front here, in front of here, just to, it changes, it makes it a little more green. Let me get rid of some of this stuff too. I have flowers on me. Let's toss a tulip there, and maybe one here. Let's go around to the side and throw another one over here. Maybe some more leaves around underneath the windows, maybe. Something like this, right? Just along. Just like that. And maybe the same thing, 2 more like that. Something like that. All the windows at least have, it kind of breaks it up. Like now you're not staring at one full solid wall of it. How does it look if I put it like that too? Maybe, I don't know. That's too much, I think. Maybe just the one like that, and then you come around like this, and oh, there's another one, and let's put a rose bush right here. Just kind of placing things around randomly. Throwing some lilacs around the area. Maybe that side will have rose bushes, this side will have lilacs. Put one out here. I'm just gonna keep, just keep spamming things around basically. I want to kind of make it random, and I have the, do I still have coarse dirt on me? No, I have some gravel though. You can see it doesn't go right up to the door, but if I could have, break a couple pieces here and there. I'm having a lot of problems with lag too now. I notice, I don't know what it is. The Xbox, every time it saves, it just lags like crazy. Something like this, just kind of goes off, and I'll add coarse dirt or whatever in between all of these ones, and that should be okay though, I think. And then the floor, I think probably birch will look the nicest because it's the brightest. And it is the nicest, so I think I'm going to keep this birch wood that I have here. It's nice and bright compared to the spruce. It kind of changes things up. You can see I left the bed there, put an extra chest for the guy there, and, crafting table, of course, you need one of those. That chest will be gone later. I'd like to maybe make some sort of just a sitting area for himself, I don't imagine he'd ever have any visitors, but you never know. Maybe right in front of this window even, let's say, put a kind of a bench type thing here. Put down fences, and we now have a table. Cool, so there we go. He's got a nice little table in front of the window. Let's get rid of this one. Oh, there's lag again. Let's get rid of that one. Obviously I need light in here. It's also turned into nighttime, isn't it? Yes, it is. Easier if it wasn't nighttime, I'd be able to see a little bit better at least. And of course, like I said, I'm going to have lights and stuff in here that'll obviously brighten it up, but this is kind of the basic idea. So there, he's got a little table, he's got his bed here. I wonder, maybe if I put another little kind of a reading table beside himself, like one of those little bedside tables that people normally have. Something like that, just to, add little details here and there. I think it would just change it up a little bit, and it would make it better than having it pretty just plain and whatnot, so. Oh, okay, not right there. It's my bad, there we go. Okay, and I don't know, I might have to add a little couple extra things here and there or something. It is kind of plain with just, the bed and everything, but it is just like a logging cabin. Really, it's just some guy out here chopping down trees and stuff, so I think out back, an Enderman. I don't get opportunity to kill many of them, so I'm going to have to. Stay there, Mr. Enderman. Now I'm going to hide under this tree until you come back. Oh, and there's a creeper. Die, creeper. Ah, there we go. Okay. I heard you. Where are you? He's gonna come for me, I know it. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm pretty armored up, though. Okay, so yeah, I was just saying, this is like, you know, this is basically a logging cabin, or where the guy's gonna be cutting down trees, so I figured, like, it might be kind of cool to have, like, piles of logs around. Something like, I'm thinking if I just kind of did, like, a pointed thing, kind of like, let's see, one, I want to make it, like, 3 wide. I wish I could just place them sideways like that, though, anytime. So I do need quite a few, but something maybe just like that. That kind of looks like a pile of wood, right? Somebody stacked it nice and neat, whatnot. Maybe I can put, let's see, I gotta find there's a little bit of space, because I want to have access, I think, to this little pond later. Maybe I can build just a small staircase down to it. So let's get rid of this tree. Open things up a little bit, and get rid of this one as well. That'll kind of help out. Perfect. Okay. So those leaves will disappear. This tree is kind of random. I gotta give myself more space around the building. Okay, so if I put, let's say, because there's more dark oak over here, so I'll put like the same thing, you know, some dark oak things, logs down, and that'll be okay. Kind of gives it a nice look. Put down some more. Maybe this pile make it a little bigger even, I don't know. Leaning up against the tree, something like that. I can even make them random, I guess, like, you know, you just kind of toss them on top of the pile or whatever, and just something like that. Maybe it kind of looks like a, you know, it kind of looks like just logs lying about. I also have birch, and that'll kind of, you know, show you that it's something different. I don't know, maybe I'll put a table out here as if he was cutting down trees recently, or something like that. I don't know, little details, right? That's kind of what matters, is the little things that people notice. And it's the little thing they're going to be looking at, and I don't know, it's kind of cool to have different things out here. Oh, these log placement and stuff. I have the same problem with the stairs a lot of the time. There we go. Okay, so these are little piles of logs. I don't know if it looks like piles of logs really. This kind of doesn't until this is going to be gone. The only problem is, though, I don't think the leaves will disappear. Like, if since I placed that there, unless nothing is connecting it, I don't think it'll actually disappear, which is really annoying. I also noticed the leaves take a lot longer to disintegrate in this one. I don't know why. Maybe it's one of the new updates, something, but there we go. That's much better. All gone. We got piles of logs. I wanted to do something here too, I said. So let's just try more, you know, oak stairs. Do a little bit of terraforming, clean it up a little bit, make it just a little nicer, a little easier to get to. So if I have just like 1, 2, 3, a way to get down to here. I'd like to have a little fishing thing, or maybe just something for him to stand on. I don't know. Let's see. It's 4 wide. If I have 1. I don't know if it's worth it. I could just have the guy, like, if he comes down and is just standing here, but how would I do that? Could I put a little table, a bench, maybe just a small outcropping would be nice. So if I do something like, oop, I can't get that one. Okay. Let's say just like this. Actually, that's too high for a thing like this. Okay, just like that. I will just use regular oak slabs, I guess, here, I think. Maybe that's what I should have used too. Maybe I don't need stairs here. Maybe I should use slabs. Slabs might be nicer for this kind of thing. There we go, more natural. There we go, something like that. A little bit wider. There. Now you kind of come down here, come out here, and if I just extend it a tiny bit, that's all I need. Just a little tiny platform for the guy to stand on. You know, nothing too crazy. Something. Oh. Because it's such a small area is the problem. Like, I don't know what to do with it unless it's... I don't know. I think that's too big, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to figure something out here. Or you guys can let me know what you think I should do for this area. Maybe just maybe if I made this little area here bigger, maybe more dirt. Even that, something like that might help. I don't know. I've always built the docks, you know, that I built pretty big, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. Maybe you can just go down and, you know, just fish off of here if you want to, but it'd be kind of nice to be able to go back. That's got to be wider again, though. I'm going to be bumpy into that. Or I did the stupid thing and I should move it over. That's all. There we go. Just come down like this, and then you can go left or right, depending on which way, wherever you're going to. This one should go then. Clear it up again. Just giving myself some more spaces to get around, cleaning up around the area. Looks a little bit better. A couple last little bit of flowers, and then I think we're done. Much better. A little bit of flowers everywhere, and certainly adds some color, I think. And it's a little clearer. You know, there's less trees, no leaves anywhere. You got the logs set out, and you know, some bushes around the area, and I think it really does, it changes the look of the place. Like, it was so plain before, but now, like, even this side, it may be big and only kind of like one or two colors, but with the leaves and everything there, it really just, it changes it, it kind of distracts your eye from everything, so I think it does add a little bit. But you guys comment, please let me know what you think, you know, if there's any little changes I should do. I'm sure a lot of you have some pretty great suggestions, and you always do anyway, so I'll be excited to see what you guys have to say this time, and see if you can give me tips to work on, you know, add, change, fix things. I'm going to add some lights, of course, inside later on, as well as the fact that eventually I'm going to continue this pathway over there, as I promised, and one day work on that cool, like, medieval castle. I got to figure out a design for it, though, and I'm sure once I get one design, I can build the rest of the wall and all that. But I think I'll probably get in the episode here, guys. I'm pretty happy with this. You know, I've got the nice little path now that goes out to here, got the log cabin, and, you know, it'll just be a nice thing to pass by whenever I'm going, you know, to the castle, or going to the nearby plains that are over there to go see, you know, maybe to get better horses, or to get, you know, pigs or cows or whatever. So, and it's kind of cool. It's like, you don't even really notice it. Like, I like that when you come down here. Like, it's also nice just to have a random terraform. Well, no, I didn't even really terraform or anything. I just kind of made things random and added stairs to over things. Instead of like going around like I normally would, or clearing it, I went over it and I changed things. So when you come down here, like, you see this nice open area with all the flowers, and there's the water over there. You don't really see it too much though, and then you kind of see the beginning of the building, and it shows a little more as you go. So you don't see the whole thing at once until you really come around here, and then you see it all. So that's why I'd like to change maybe this front area a little bit more. Probably do something a little bit nicer with that, but overall I'm quite happy with it. Good, and it suits in well. It's well hidden in the forest, and it's close enough over here too that if I wanted, I may make a path even that goes over to here and this way and zigzags, and then I could go to here and have a view of all of this stuff, and maybe there could be like a little section here that I could launch a boat from or something, and just little cool stuff to add to the world. So that way you're walking around and there's always little things, because I've kind of kept everything in one area, so now it's nice to kind of expand and be able to go into different places, and this is really helping me out with, you know, having the large world expansion. But right now I'm kind of rambling, guys, so once again, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Comment down below, like I said, you know, if you want to let me know if you got some ideas for this thing, or just ideas for stuff around the area or whatnot. Anything at all, really. So thank you again so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.